morning, everybody. It's the 6th of October 2020, and starting somewhat of a little series here this week on Before the Bell, and we're going to be taking a look at Ethereum. Actually, we're taking a look at Ethereum, and also we'll take a real quick look at Bitcoin as well, because that's also an important asset to take a look at. We're going to be taking a look at the E-mini futures, the S&P E-mini futures. So that's the ES. We're going to take a look at the Nasdaq futures. So we'll take a look at NQ. And I also want to take a look at Netflix and Apple. Those are two assets that I'll be taking a look at closer to the end of the segment to kind of track a trade that we have been sitting in for, I don't know, a little over a week now, I would say. So before I get into any of this, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and this is all just my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start off with Ethereum. I've been taking a look at this guy. Assuming that the correction is completed from our high, and actually let me go ahead and go out to like an hour time frame. Assuming that this correction is completed here, I think that we've got a good contender here for basically we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we've got a nice correction coming off of that. I'm going to fix the subdivision on this here a little bit later, but these are going to be on higher time frames for sure. So this is the start of a new trend in my opinion. I want to get these to be the same. So put those there, get them to be the same color, because this is on higher time frames for sure. What we are currently tracking and what we had been tracking, I posted a trade on the Discord yesterday, and I'm going to drill into this here in a minute, but it was a short trade at about 350, 351, 352, somewhere in that range. I'd have to go back to the Discord to check it out. But ultimately, I think what we've completed here is a 1, 2, potentially working on a 1, 2. So we should be working on 1, 2, and a bigger wave 3. So what we're really hoping for is a 1, a 2, and then we're working on 3, 4, 5 up here. Okay, so put that up there. Give this a different color as well. So this is what we're hoping for, right? We're hoping for a 1, 2, but then we're expecting a 1, 2. And then we've got wave 3, which would go up here. Wave 5 would complete where the 3 is, and then wave 4 would come back somewhere around here. This is what we hope for. And how do we get there? That's always the hard part. So let's drill down to a 15-minute time frame, just kind of see where we're at right now. So again, this is our big completion of wave 2, our primary wave 2 that we've been watching. So keep an eye on that. Then we come off of that. We've got potential for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get a leading diagonal here into this 1. And then this, I believe we're in the middle of an ABC. We're in the middle of an ABC. Now the 618 is right here at 334.10. And what I'm measuring here is this pivot down here to this pivot up here. I haven't connected it because I didn't want the numbers to coincide with the price action. But we can see here that the 618 is right here at 334.10. All right. So where will the bottom be? Is the bottom going to come all the way back down here to 786, or is it going to stop here at the 618 again at about 334.65, somewhere in that range? That came right down to the 618. Wouldn't surprise me one bit for us to get down there to this 334 range again to be able to catch a good long. I often make mistakes where I don't want to sit in a trade overnight because I've gotten burned, and I don't like to sit in trades for too long. But this would have been a good one to stay in because I was in here at about 352, it was about 350, 150, 352. I was watching us come back up, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to just sleep on this. So I got out, and about an hour after I went to sleep, this thing just kind of fell. It happens. It happens. But nonetheless, here we are. So let's see if we have any reason why we would expect a potential move back to 334.65. And we've got the 618 right here at 333.80. Wouldn't surprise me one bit for us to come back down here. That would be a logical target. If we come back down here anywhere near 333, 334, I would say this is a good area if we come back this low. for a long position. So I would be looking for longs down here in this green box. To come back down here, I would expect that to be a good bounce to complete. From here, we've got an A, a B, and a C. Of course, on a lower scale, but I believe that could be potential for a completion of that correction. And let me just get the yes, so we've got subminuet on that, so let's go ahead and match this up because that's going to be a subminuet change, and I'll get the color the same as well so that it all lines up and you can all see how it all matches in. And apologies for all of the different fib pulls that I've gone on this. Let me go ahead and clean this up. We've already discussed why that's an important level, so watch for the C down here to complete this wave 2. Then we move up from there. We move up and out. I would say this is a good potential for a trade. So if we do come back down here, you can take this trade, do a real tight stop loss, potentially right here. It's about 1.7%. If you're using leverage on this, just be careful. You may want to try and average in, but there is real good potential for the upside move on this, where we could see this guy all the way up to maybe 440. Okay. So good potential for that to occur. I wouldn't take the trade much more than 440. I would go ahead and close it out right there. That's going to be your 100% expansion based on this fib pool, which I think is the more important one. So taking this guy and doubling it would take us up to 440. So I wouldn't take the trade much further than that. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin because we've been watching Bitcoin on Bitstamp for a while now. Let's just see where we're at here. So we did a little bit of a pullback. Good reaction though. We had a good reaction. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and go out to maybe an hourly time frame here because I think this is what makes the most sense. So we have a 1 working on the 2, right? So we're working on the 2 here. So this, let me go ahead and increase the subdivision on this. So, you know, we've got a 1, 2, same thing. 1, 2. So we've got an A, B, and then A, B, C into the A, B, and then working down here. I'm still thinking that we are going to come back down to this level, right? It still would not surprise me to come back down to 10.2 to 10.3. Down here in this range seems logical for us to come down to. So we've got this A, B, and what do we have? Same thing at 10.280. I've been talking about 10.3 for the longest time. So right there, you know, just watch it because if it gets down there, again, that is prime space to be going long. And where would I do a stop loss on this? If I were to get in here at 10.280, you've got an easy stop loss. Your stop loss is going to be a violation of this important support that I've labeled. So that's 1.43% risk. And again, we're talking significant movement to the upside, well over 12,000. Well over 12,000. And you know, where are some logical targets? Easy. We take this pivot from the bottom, take this pivot to the top, and wherever this thing finally does land, so let's just say it lands right there at 10.280. You're going to be looking for a move to the 1618. So I put this out pretty actually that was pretty good. Right there at about 12.7, 12.8. That's where you're going to take this. So that's about a 25% gain and only a 1.43% risk. That is a trade that I would be willing to take if we get there. Now, if we break out of this channel, then you know we've got potentially something else going on. But again, A, B, and then C. So we have A, B, C into this A, and then move up to the B, and then we're going to go down potentially for the C. Possible that this is done. It's possible this is done. It's possible we come straight up and out of here. But I think we have another little move down to 10.2, 10.3, right? So down here in this range, stop loss at 10.138. Easy, 10.138 stop loss. Because if we break this, we're probably going to be making our way down to probably down to 93, down to 93. And we've talked about this critical support. I've been talking about 98 for a long time. So I say we come down to 93, probably a dead cat bounce there, because if you all remember, I said if we break 98, the chance of probability that we go to 64 is much, much higher. But for right now, this is where I think we potentially go. I think we completed off of here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, A, B, C into the 2, and then we have a 1, 2 nested inside of it. So we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. And this now, I need to move because we've been digging in too deep. Move this to a higher time frame here. I'm going to change the color on this guy to orange to kind of match the other chart a little bit, because the orange count is the higher time frame count. Still looking for a move up to 16, 17,000. But for this, I would take this trade. I would get out, look for the pullback, and then we see another leg up higher to take us up there to that 16, 17 target. But again, for this trade, I would take this. I would take it from the market and just walk away and wait to see what happens, right? We don't get too far ahead of ourselves. Yeah, the target 16, 17,000, you can sit in spot all day long, you'd be fine, more than likely. But at the end of the day, if you're using leverage, which I know a lot of you are, you need to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. All right. So that's my thoughts on Bitcoin right now. So let's take a look at ES. We've been keeping an eye on this actually on very, very low time frames. I've been watching this on the 5-minute time frame here. And, we've been talking about this. We took a little bit of a short as a hedge at the end of the day yesterday. Now, we're poking up higher. We're poking up higher even right now. We're poking up. So, I mean, is this done? Is this move complete? I saw a 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially a 5 here. I'm kind of I'm second guessing myself here on this 1, 2. I'm wondering if this is the 3. We came down for the 4 because you can see we've got a little correction here, right? So, we played this already. It did not go as deep as I was expecting it to go. I was expecting to go much, much deeper than that. Maybe we have a little bit of an expanded flat and we get down here to 336 or 3361. I still think that we do get a little bit of a pullback. Potentially this 5 is here, this 3 is here, and this 4 was right here. It's possible that that is what just happened, and this 5 would be up here, maybe just a little bit higher. Maybe we do hit this target of 34.25. Maybe we hit that. We're just going to have to wait and see, but we're still waiting for completion of wave 3, which I think is going to be much, much higher. So I'm in this hedge, and I'm going to be stopping on the other side of 34.25. If we get to 34.25, I'm out. I'm in plenty of equity positions. I'm in plenty of options plays where, this is a small hedge that I put in place in the event that we dropped overnight. Again, I mentioned this when I was talking about Bitcoin. I did not want to be in an overnight play fully exposed to the market. So I opened a hedge right before the bell yesterday as a hedge against my equity positions. And, willing to take that risk, I was risking less than a percent. So, on a 3x bear asset, that's 2.1% that I was willing to risk. And if we continue moving up, I'll limit that risk even more. I'll get out of that hedge. Because again, the trend is up right now. For now, the trend is up. So that's my thought on ES right now. I think we are at some pretty important resistance here, right here at 33.9750. We've been talking about that. We are above our primary resistance from 2018, late 2019, early 2020 at 33.56. We're well above that now. We're well above that, and we are trying to make some new highs here. Let's go ahead and go to a 15-minute time frame and look left. What do we have that we're contending with right now? We've got this cluster and this cluster, this level right here. You can see support, resistance, resistance. This level is now important for us. We have to move up and out of this zone right here, which is right there at 34.25. Okay? Again, that's more important is that 34.25 number today. 33.9750, that was important. 33.56, that's important. We've gotten above 33.56. We are grinding at 33.9750. Next level of importance is 34.25. If we push above that, out of my hedge completely, if I don't cut it beforehand, and again, still looking for a move up to maybe exceeding 4,000 by the end of the year. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at NQ. We've been keeping an eye on NQ as well. So we completed our wave 5. I think we're still in the middle of an ABC. I still think that we have potential to drop down just a little bit more here, at least from where we currently are. We've got our resistance there. And Nasdaq, very interesting, has been weaker than S&P here in recent days, which is very interesting. If you look at Nasdaq over the course of the last 6 to 8 months, we'll call it 7 months from now, Nasdaq has outperformed in great ways compared to the S&P 500. But I think that trend has changed here recently. I do think it has changed. So we've got an easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, and then we do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still think it's possible we come back down here to 11,250, maybe 11,1, right? Possible we come down here to 10,998, but that's going to be that point of no return. So if I'm going to take, or at least think about taking a trade, I'm going to put this on here with the idea. I'm going to put some narrative in here just so that we can discuss this a little bit. Stop loss on the other side of this 123.6, and inside of here, layer bids, right? This is going to be important that we layer bids down in this stop loss zone, because we're talking about buying here at the 618, buying here at the 100, and stopping on the other side of that 123.6. Okay, so layering bids here. So it's showing a 2.2% loss, but we're really mitigating this, right? So we're really talking about this moving down and probably layering in about right here, taking and turning that into 1.29% loss, or at least risk, for potential 9% gain. 9% gain. We're still looking at that 12.150, 12.2. We're still looking at that as significant resistance based on looking left over here. Right, so you've got some support cluster here. We'd expect this to be resistance, and that's sitting right there at 12.150 to 12.2. So potential move up there. You're going to be layering your bids, starting here at the 618, taking yourself maybe a bigger bite down here at the 100. Take a small bite at the 618, a bigger bite at the 100, so your average price is a little bit lower. We take a smaller bite at the 618 in case it doesn't get to the 100. We've got some, evidence that we should have some support here. A lot of people are talking about a head and shoulders, okay? Potential for a head and shoulders. That's why the stop loss here on the other side of the 123.6 is so important. Why? Because we have resistance here, which should be support. Why? Because if this is a head and shoulders, which is still valid, this is still valid, we could have a head and shoulders here. It's going to take us back down here to the lows of at least September, right? Potential that this could take us back down and even lower to past the point of invalidation. So that's why this level is so important. One more point of evidence here. We're going to take a pivot from this invalidation level to this top up here, and let's just see what we've got. We have the 618 down here as well. If we break that 618, we are now invalidated. Okay, that's important. 50 would be ideal. The 50, which is right there at 11,120, 11,125, that seems like a really good place to catch a long position, or to just buy the Qs, whatever your poison is. This is where I am watching very carefully for levels of invalidation. Invalidation is sitting right there. Originally it was 10.5, now it's 10.655, and now I'm saying this level right here at 10,998, 10,950, that's going to be pretty darn important for us to hold if we're going to continue to be bullish. Not that that really invalidates everything, but it does provide a significant case for the bears. So we have to be very careful with this. All right, so that's Nasdaq. So let's take a look at Netflix. All right, Netflix, we're going to move to a 3-hour time frame on Netflix. We also have been watching this like a hawk. We've been tracking this trade for a while. All right, so we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this one, ABC into the 2. This takes this down to March of 2020. What do we have from there? A nice 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, A, B, C into the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, expansion into the 5th to complete the 5th, to complete wave 3. All right, wave 3 was good. We had a nice wave 3 on this. So now we go down, we have an A, B, C to complete wave 4. All right, so yeah, we're down $4 in after hours. That's okay. Let's dig into this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a nice move here where we have some diagonal support. We have an A, B, C into the A, B, C into the B, and then we have this nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the C. All right, so this works good. So we've got a nice 3, 3, 5 up here into the C. Then we have another diagonal support just like we had back here where we bounced off. Have the same thing here and we bounced off. So off of this 4, what I think that we've got is a contender for off of here 1, 2, 3, 4, working on the 5. Okay, we're working on the 5, and this is going to be on a lesser degree, of course. I'm going to change the color of this guy because we're tracking this trade now. I know there's a lot of you that are in this trade. So if this is what I think it is, 1, 2, here we go. We came, gosh, I mean, you just can't make this up. We came up here right into this zone between the 1618 and the 175. Perfect for wave 3, wave 4. Then we go up here for wave 5, which is probably going to take us up to potentially 565. That would be a perfect rejection zone because we have resistance here, we have resistance here. It would make perfect sense for us to reject off of that to do a pullback. Okay, so we have this guy, 1, and we come 2, potentially back down, maybe potentially back down all the way to 500. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then we go up for the 3, 4, 5. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we go higher than this. I am not targeting a penny above 650. I'm going to be getting out at 650. That's where I think this is going to be going. If you're not in this trade, don't take it. Don't take it now. It's too late. It's too late if you're in this trade. I don't see anything right now. I would wait for this to pull back before I got into the longer trade. The buy that we were discussing on the Discord, what was this, yesterday? Was 500. $500. That was the place to get in. Stop loss on this trade currently is going to be sitting at about 493. It's going to be this guy right here. If this gets violated, so let me just kind of dive into this right here. Okay, if this guy gets violated right here, that's going to be your stop loss now. So your stop loss, we're moving it up because we should not violate this level now. That level is going to be new stop loss. All right, so let's put this in here. Stop loss on the trade looks like at 491.43. I'm not sure if I tagged that perfectly, but that's where I'm seeing this stop loss at 491.43, somewhere in that range. As you can see, we got in about 472. And that's where, you know, we were tracking this right down here, saying it looked like we were creating a bit of a bottom, and it looks like we did. We created a bottom. We've been moving up off of this. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, working on the 5, which means we should exceed this, and we should be making our way up to about 565. Then I think from there we pull back. I haven't decided yet whether or not I want to take profits up here and get the pullback. Haven't made that decision yet. Okay, let's take a look at Apple. Man, we've been watching Apple for a while now. Apple's looking pretty good. Yesterday, Apple opened low, but had a good reaction off of it. Had a really good reaction off of this. So, you know, I'm not ready to put a count on this, but it looks like we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, which means that we are looking much higher for Apple. Where I am targeting, and again, Apple is also down about $1. I'm targeting for a move up to right here at 152 to 153. That's all I'm willing to take out of this market, right? So if we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 3, 4, 5, that makes a whole lot of sense, right? So, and when I say that, and just in case you're curious, I'm talking we've got a 1, 2, and then we've got this 3, 4, 5 up here. But to get there into wave 3, we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3 on, of course, a lower degree. Change the color for contrast so that you can see this a little bit better. Okay, so again, I say we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, go down for the 4, and then we go up for the 5. That's going to be our kill right there. That zone is actually not going to be a green zone, that's going to be a red zone because that's where we are looking to get out of this trade at about 153. Okay, that's where we're targeting. We came back down here to the 618. This was perfect, right? So this was a perfect pullback based on this bottom right here to this top right here. We came back to the golden zone. We bounced off of it. It's been a great trade so far, and we're targeting a move up to, again, 153. We have earnings coming up on October 28th, so that's also something to keep an eye on. That's what we're looking at on Apple. All right, did I take a look at everything? I took a look at ES. I took a look at NQ. We looked at Ethereum. We looked at Bitcoin. We looked at Netflix. We looked at Apple. I've taken a look at everything that I had planned to take a look at. I didn't see any suggestions, things that you want me to take a look at in the YouTube chat. So I'm going to go ahead and end it off right here. But I'm going to try and do this every day, if possible, at about 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. So, feel free to keep an eye. I want to do this because, well, one, I want to take a look at positions that I'm in, and what better would it be for me to be looking at the same trades that I'm in with you guys? All right, so this is good collaboration on the Discord, so I do appreciate you guys participating there, joining in the video. If the video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, invite your friends. If you want access to Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll do my best to get an invite code out to you. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening.